Hi there, welcome to the final part of our Git and GitHub course series. In today's lesson, we will be looking at the three essential Git commands: Git push, Git pull, and Git clone, and how they work with the GitHub platform. I will also walk you through how beginners can get started with GitHub right away. So let's jump right in. Before we dive in the commands, let's take a quick look at GitHub itself. What is GitHub? GitHub is an online platform where developers can host their code repositories and collaborate with others. It's based on Git, a visual control system, which means you can track every change you make in your code and work with others seamlessly. Why should beginners use GitHub? So GitHub is great because it helps you to store and back up your code, collaborate on projects with others, build a portfolio of your work, and contribute to open source projects. For example, let's start using GitHub. You first need a GitHub account. So simply sign up on GitHub.com. I assume that you will figure out how to do it. So we just enter here your email and configure it with your phone number, and then come back to follow up with me, the whole steps. So first of all, let's open up our terminal. So let's do it from the beginning. So I will show you here how Git repository locally work with a repository online. So here's the whole process, from the creating directory to committing the changes and then pushing the code into the remote repository. So let's create our repository here in our desktop, for example. Let's navigate to our desktop. Here we go. Let's create a directory here. Make dir stands for make directory. Let's name it, for example, test project. Here we go. We are created now in our desktop this folder, and let's access it. Test project. Now we are in our test project. There is nothing inside it. So let's create a file inside it, like for example, a README file. And so now what we're gonna do, let's initialize our project. So Git locally will start tracking our changes in our folder. We will do with the command git init. Here we go. So our Git starts tracking our file here. Let's open up VS Code editor. Here we go. Just drag and drop from your desktop if you are following with me here. Here we go. Now we are opening our test project in the VS Code, and here we go. We have created this file readme here, and also it comes with the .git hidden folder here. We already explained about it in our previous sections in the course. So feel free to check the previous section of the .ignore file hidden folder. We made the whole lesson about it there. And here we go. Let's do, for example, here some changes. Let's say hello developers. For example, save the changes and back to our terminal. Let's check our status first. Git status. Here we go. We have this file here. We have some changes, but it's never been added or be tracked. So let's add these changes here through the command git add. Git add. We need to specify which file we want to add. Git add period dot here to add all the changes here, and we can specify it with the file that you want it to be tracked. For example, here readme md. We added in the staging area. Let's check the git status again. Here we go. We have no file in the staging area. We can commit it now or in stage. In our case, we want to commit. So let's do git commit, and the hyphen m stands for the message, and the message here will be added readme file. Now we did commit our changes. So we have one file changes and one insertion. This insertion stands for this one line of code. It's been added to the file. So let's check the commit history, git log, and you can do it also with a hyphen one line to make it shorter for you, one line. Here we go. So now we have this commit history here, and with the message we added the readme file, and with the hash ID here for the commits that git is stored in the configuration file, and also the head on the master. We discussed about it about the head here. in our previous lesson Git branches. So feel free also to check the whole course I have made in my channel. So now at this stage, we want to push these changes and to be online on the cloud through the GitHub platform. So once you created your account on GitHub, it will pop up here the dashboard for you. So I want you to go up to this drop down here and create a new repository. And simply new repository here is just like a home for your files or folders that you wanted to push it up to the cloud. So this website GitHub will store it and make it available for everybody in the world so you can share and collaborate with it. So here it's just like you can make a repository name here, for example, like just dash project. Let's make it just pro. And here also it gives you an option to make it like this, a public, so anybody can see these files and do something with it, or make it private. So what we're gonna do here, we want to create a repository. Once you hit this create a repository button, it will pop up here for you this page, and this means it's just like a quick setup. So here we can create our repository, but we have already did it in our local, if you remember here. So we made our repository locally, and in this stage of time we want to push it up to the remote repository. So we initialize, if you remember, we initialize our folder, which is the test project, and also then we commit the changes there. And this one, it stands just for the changing the name of the master branch to the main, for example, as I told you here. And as you know, the main here stands for the master, which is this one. So we are on the same branch, just the name is different. So you can change it through this command, git branch hyphen capital M and main, and or you can just get rid of it and use the master. So at this time, it will give you also this URL here. It stands for the address of your repository online through your account on GitHub. So GitHub will provide this URL for you. So you will copy it from here and paste it in your terminal locally. So Git your software locally will identify your account on GitHub. So you will push all the files in your project or the folder here to the remote repository. Copy from here, paste it in the terminal and hit the enter. Here we go. Let's check also the existing remote. If you haven't configured your name and email with your Git locally software, just check Git remote -v. So the process here, if it's not like that, that means you have to configure your name and email on the Git software locally. And we talked about this in the previous lessons in our course in the video of the Git configuration. So make sure if anything happens here other these messages, please check again our previous sections in the course. So now at this time, once we connected our Git software locally with the remote one with the GitHub account. So now at this time, we want to push our master branch to the GitHub repository. And we can do this with git push, and this push stands to uploading the folder to the online repository, and -u, this will allows you in the future, you don't have to use every time the command git push -u origin and master. You can just do the git push, so it will make it easier for you. So now let's hit the enter. Oops, it's my bad here. He fails because he didn't know that main it's the same as the master branch. So let's do it again. Git push -u origin master here. Let's make it master, and there we go. Now master branch set up to track remote branch master from origin, and here we go. Now if we back to our GitHub account and just refresh the page, now it's been created our remote repository with the folder we have just created locally. At this point, so everyone online can see and share your code here. So here we go. And you can also, for example, edit. You can also adjust your code here, update your code. And at this time we want to edit our code. Let's say, for example, we want to add another designers. Commit the changes and also commit the changes here. So at this point of time, what we're gonna do, we want to learn about the pod. So this command simply is fetches changes from your GitHub repository and merges them into your local repository. And what I mean by that, as I told you here, at this point, what we're gonna do, we can download this project here into our Git repository. Let's say in this scenario, for example, you pushed your code there and somebody else made the changes there, and you want now to put all these changes into your main local project repository, so you can edit on it and make changes on it comfortably. So let's download or pull our project into our local machine, and we can do that also with this command git pull. So let's do here git pull origin master. Hit the enter. Here we go. So we pulled down these changes into our local. So let's see in our VS Code here, and here we go. Our changes we have just made here to the remote repository, it's been added into the local one. If there are any conflicts between the remote and the local version, Git will prompts you to solve that. Our third command here, it's git clone. So git clone, it's simply, this command allows you to copy an existing GitHub repository to your local machine. Let's say, for example, one of the scenarios that you are learning on YouTube on a tutorial, for example, and you want to follow up with your instructor. So he will give you all the necessary folders and files. He will make it on his GitHub account under a repository online on his GitHub account. So he wants you to download the repository or the project and following up with him online. So what you're gonna do here, you have many options to download that project. As I told you, we learned about the Git pull just a minute ago, and at this time we want to download this in different way. And here we go. You can just go to the code icon here, and you can choose which method you wanted to download the project through it, and here the HTTPS through this. You can copy this URL here, and with the git clone command on your terminal, it will be downloaded there. And also another option is with your downloaded as a zip here, or can open it on your GitHub desktop if you have a started one. And also another option here with the SSH option here, URL. So at this point of time, as I told you, let's do it in the git clone way, which with the HTTPS method. So we copy this URL. Let's open up our terminal, and here what we're gonna do, git clone and paste the URL there. Here we go, and it's done. The test project, it's been downloaded to our desktop or wherever we want to download it. And here we go. I can see my folder here. It's added to the VS Code. Here we go. That's our folder that we just downloaded. We just cloned it from the online GitHub account, as I told you, with the index HTML folder also. So that's it. Today we covered how to get started with the GitHub, how to push changes to the remote repository with git push, and how to pull updates from GitHub with the git pull, and how to clone repositories using git clone. and let's summarize what we just did in the whole course, so that will make the full image of our course. Here we go. Our first section of our course, we just dive into the definitions of our Git and GitHub. We define them, and we learn about what is Git and what is GitHub, and also how Git and GitHub works together in theory, and also in practice in our previous videos. So also the methods how to use Git, and how we install in Git, for example, for both operation systems. And also in our second part of our course, we learned about how to initialize a folder and how Git works here from the working directory we just did. In this course, we created a directory, we add them into the scene area, we commit the changes to the local repo, and then from the local repo, we push our changes there to the GitHub account and remote repository. Then we did our pull commit that we downloaded the whole for the remote repository to our local machine. And then we learned about Git configurations, how to configure your name and email. So the Git software will know you, and later on we'll configure it with the GitHub account. So easily you can make pull and push without any issues. And also we learned about the .git-ignore file, and also about the branches, how it's important. And also at this section we learned about Git repository. So that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed our course. I wish you get a good grasp from this course of knowledge and how to use Git and GitHub for beginners. In the next videos in our channel, I'm going to focus on JavaScript and React.js. So while I'm learning the React framework, so I will share with you how to get started with the React framework. So that will make you a better front-end developer and web developer in general. So stay tuned, and if you found this kind of tutorials helpful, give it a thumbs up. That will motivate me too much to make such content like that online. Subscribe to our channel for more web development tips and tutorials. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.